Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. I thought I would just sit here and smile for a few seconds and see if you guys thought I lost my mind. Are you tapping your phone or whatever you're watching this on to see if it's working? I'm just sitting there staring at the screen. Oh my gosh. How we doing out there, ladies and gentlemen? Hello and welcome to Operation Status Quo here on a Thursday. It is Thursday. Moving through another week. How we doing out there? You having fun? You doing all your holiday plans and stuff? What's going on out there? Let me know in the comments. Tell me about yourselves out there, people. It's always me talking about me. I want to know about you. Tell me something for goodness sake, won't you? But don't take the holidays too seriously. Let me just say this as a public service announcement before we begin. We get into the hustle and bustle of everything, and we feel like we have to people please so much in certain regards to accomplish these quote unquote things that we believe we're supposed to do just because of a date on the calendar. But never let that get you. I live my life this way. I can give a crap about what the day is on the calendar. I'm doing what's got to be done, and whatever that is fine. Just not putting ourselves in positions to be unhappy and live outside of our comfort zone. It's all a little bit of a give and take. You got to, be nice to your friends and family and everything, but it doesn't mean that you have to, do all the crap that people think you should do that you don't really want to do just because, they say it's Christmas. Yeah, that's what they say. You know what I mean? Anyway, so hello and welcome. I am Pete Palma. This is Operation Status Quo, the place where we observe the status quo of life, the place where we learn to flow with the status quo of life. And then, of course, we create our own flow of quo, because that's the only way to go. And that's exactly what I was just saying. Create your own flow. Don't worry about what the calendar says. And I'm going to start today. Before I get into it, I don't know. I wasn't going to mention this, but it just keeps getting me. I don't understand. Just all my views just keep disappearing off my. Are you guys like watching and then you go back and say, oh, I regret so much that I watched this and I would like to take my view back? Is that possible? Anyway, I don't care. I mean, I do care. But, I guess in a way it is disheartening sometimes, because you feel like you're trying to put, your best self forward. I shouldn't even say that because if this is my best self, then I guess it's self-explanatory what the problem is. No, but it's okay. I mean, I don't trust all these. I don't trust whatever this social media stuff does. If I had a channel where I was talking about how to comb your cat or something, or I had a channel where, I was, I don't know, doing something stupid, I'd have 1 million viewers by now, believe me. But because I'm just a normal guy talking a bunch of gibberish from my heart, then, it really doesn't apply to anything. But so, help support out there. I just ask that you like, and if you're not subscribed, to subscribe. Maybe check to see if you're still subscribed, because I know people get kicked out of being subscribed as well. It's happened to me on other channels. So anyway, it is what it is with all that. And I would like to say too, I want to keep you updated on my swimming activities here in Florida. It's been a little chilly the last couple of days. It's nice today with the sun out, but still a little too chilly to hit the pool. So I think that's kind of messing up my mood. I haven't been able to swim the last 2 days. So if I can't go through the flushing process of putting my body through the water that way, I think then, it's like an emotional cleanse for me when I go swimming. So it is what it is. This is going to have to be the emotional cleanse today. All right. Hey, so today is the 7th of December in the good year 2023. And today's program is entitled Polite Impoliteness. What the hell did I say? Polite Impoliteness. I believe that's what it was. I got to go back and look. I can't believe I just forgot. I just said politely impolite. That's what it was. Politely impolite. Oh, man. So, we like to delve into the depths of human behavior and such. And we came across, of course, I find all this stuff on the mainstream, which is fun, too, because, everything is kind of, how it is with the mainstream stuff. It's not really deep thought, right? It's more keep everybody in a straight way of thinking. But we'll see, because this here is some information regarding some habits that are considered that people, I guess, think are polite, habits that actually irritate other people. So let's see what we have for you here today on Operation Status Quo. I love you guys. guys out there, and I hope you're doing great. Feel free to drop comments anytime while you're watching and let me know what's on your mind out there. All right. So the first one here on the list is saying yes to everything. Isn't interacting with someone who says yes to everything annoying? They don't have a backbone or an opinion. People who express their thoughts, even in disagreements, are more appreciated than those who don't. So this behavior often leads to resentment and lack of respect. Yes, we don't like people who say yes to everything. That's what I was just saying in the very beginning about the Christmas stuff, right? You don't have to do everything that people think you should do. You don't have to be a yes man or a yes woman or a yes whatever. If you're confused and you're figuring it out, you don't have to be a yes one of those either. But yes, people are annoying. Do you ever get those people, on top of that, I used to have friends and say, what do you want to just go out and something? And, they always like, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do. It's like, well, what ideas do you have? Can you bring an idea forth to the table for a change to say what you would like to do? Or are you just doing what I want to do just because? I mean, do you really want to do this? What would you like to do? But people who say yes, you might think it's polite to say yes all the time, but it is annoying. Definitely the yes people, the people who say yes, there was a pandemic. The people who say yes, I like to wear a mask, and I believe it works. And yes, I'd like to get some of that poison jab in me. Am I still harping on COVID shit after all this time? Don't we all know better by now, right? Okay. Anyway, let's see here. I should update my complaint. Yes, it's okay for biological men to beat the shit out of women in their sports, right? I mean, yes, that's polite. We should allow that to happen. All right, here we go. Now, I don't know how this is on the list as being thought of as a polite thing to do that's actually impolite. To me, this is horribly impolite right off the bat, so I don't understand why they would say this is a polite habit, that is impolite, but it is impolite. Eating from other people's plates. Can you imagine? While you might think picking up and tasting food from other people's plates is cute, it's not. Of course it's not. I mean, who would think it's cute? I had friends too. You go out and you get a burger and fries or something, and they start picking a couple fries off your plate. And I'll tell you, I'm right up on this. This has not happened. I'm happy to offer, but do not think of touching my food on my plate if we go out to eat. I ordered something, I'm paying for it, I intend to eat every last morsel of it. You order what you want, I order what I want. I hate to be rude that way. If that's rude, I don't know, but somebody says, oh, you mind if I taste it? No, all right, you want to taste it, but don't, you got food in front of you, don't be reaching across and grabbing food off my plate. I don't even know how people would think that's even cute. People tolerate others with this behavior because they don't want to be rude, but realistically, they may not want to share their food. Of course not. Why would you? I mean, why get your own food? I mean, unless you're at a buffet or something. I don't know what to say. If anything, order what you want to eat from the menu. Yeah. Or if you're out with a group, no, I'm good, guys. I'm not going to order anything. And then you're with the group and they all start ordering, and then you just start picking off, their plates. Come on now. Come on. Who would even think that's a good idea to? I mean, I would feel so embarrassed to even do that, right? Anyway, offering unsolicited advice is on the list. People don't always like to be told. I have learned this too, through, well, not even in a bad way. Sometimes, people start talking and, they expressing something, whatever, right? And, and then you want to try to offer advice. And then I've noticed this, I start to maybe say something and I realize that they just want to complain. They don't really want to do anything. So, a lot of times if people are venting or saying stuff, let them say what they have to say. Just go through it. You don't have to be pushy on anybody and try to, shove advice down their throat. People really don't want advice is what I realize a lot of times. They just, want to talk and just say shit. So if they really wanted advice, I guess they would say, I'd like advice. Can you help me with this problem? But instead they just want to complain about the problem. You give them advice or some sort of possible solution, and then they're pissed at you. So do not offer unsolicited advice, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Next on the list here is sharing a lot of personal information too soon. That is true. I mean, you might not want to, in your first encounter with someone, tell them that, you're recovering from crack. It's like, or you used to beat your kids, but you're feeling a lot better now. You don't want to give too much of your personal information away. Maybe you have a horrible digestive issue and you shit your pants once in a while. I mean, get to know somebody a little bit first before you let them know of all your horrible bodily functions. But if you're meeting someone new, only volunteer some things to know about you, even when discussing personal personal opinions. Holding back and filtering is perfectly okay. I'm a little guilty in certain ways because I'm a very open, honest kind of person. Like I just kind of really just say what I'm thinking. And I always assume that's, we should never assume, of course, but I do that, we're all fellow human beings that understand each other. But I realize, when you start saying stuff, they just look at you like you're nuts. So you don't offer personal information too soon. Give them your name, rank, and serial number, and that's it. Leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. Not answering invitations. That can be considered, I don't know why that's like a polite, again, this is supposed to be polite habits that irritate others. So ignoring someone and not answering them is not polite, right? But clicking a yes or no box doesn't take much. It isn't polite when you receive an invitation and don't care about telling the host whether you'll attend or not. So, of course, if you're invited to a particular event, a wedding, a party, I don't know, whatever, right? You should at least, let them know whether you're coming or not. You can also, from that point off, you could tell them, listen, I appreciate that you sent me this. I want you to know that I will never attend anything that you invite me to. So you could just take me off the list for all future encounters, if you would, please. Next here is cheek kissing hello before the corona. Oh my God, they talk about the virus. But we got to take that with a grain of salt because these people still believe in all this crap. Before the C virus was upon us, everybody enjoyed greetings in the form of a kiss on the cheek. Did everybody enjoy greetings in the form of a kiss on the cheek? I don't know, But anyway, but that was way before. And now we're all concerned about infectious diseases. And a majority of people are protective of their personal space today. I know, isn't that crazy? It is. That's excuse me, and that's part of the purpose of why they did everything they did with the fake pandemic, because they want us to be detached from one another. They don't want us to express our humanity. They want us to be afraid that we're all disease-ridden, infections ready to, plunge our sickness into someone else, But I mean, the truth is, we've all got bacteria and shit all over us all the time, and whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So get in there, get dirty, go give some people a kiss on the cheek. It's nice. Don't let these people tell you that it's impolite. Sending long-winded text messages. Okay. I mean, I it's funny because a lot of times, matter of fact, this even happened this week. I wanted to explain something to somebody, and I was ready to start texting, and I was like, by the time I say this, and then, as soon as I start to do a text like that, and I realize I got to edit like 6 lines and add this and make sure they understand I mean it this way, I just give them a call, because who's going to read all this and on and on and on with all this nonsense. I get that sometimes, even like on Messenger or somebody. Once in a while, send me something and they're explain. I'm like, can we? And I always just say, you have a quick second to talk? You have a quick second to talk? It takes forever to sit here and type all this shit back and forth and try to explain it so you understand the way I'm trying to present it, right? So the long-winded text messages, no good, ladies and gentlemen. Tagging people on social media. You may love tagging people on your social media posts, but not everyone wants to be tagged. Tag, you're it, right? Even if you want to ensure they see the pictures, there are better ways than tagging them randomly. People with different comfort levels regarding their online presence may dislike hurtful comments or targeting by groups of people. I don't know, but either way, why would you tag people that don't want to be tagged, in a sense, right? Unless if I say I went out with some people, they said a couple friends, maybe I'd tag them, hey, we're here having a good time. But generally, I really don't tag people. But tag, you're it. Everybody, the social media thing is just, there's so many crazy nuances. It's funny how they write all this stuff too, and the things that, even like the social things that they're talking about in this list, right? It's so different than the way our world was before. I guess it's really geared towards people under 30. So anyway, responding with no worries. Most people would respond with thank you to express gratitude, but when someone thanks you, responding with no worries implies the other person was inconveniencing you. Respond with an appropriate "you're welcome." Well, how many people say that? Do you say that? If somebody says, "Oh, thank you," or do you say "no worries"? You usually say "you're welcome." I'll say no problem sometimes. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. No, bro, that's no problem. I'm happy to help. I mean, I don't know why. A lot of people say no worries now for a lot of things. I feel like maybe that's why they say it's a dismissive comment, but, oh, no worries. No worries. I mean, I get that. I see that a lot. Like, even if I'm in a store, maybe I bump into somebody, go, oh, pardon me, I didn't see you there. No worries. I'll hear that a lot. So I don't really think that's particularly impolite. I think it's how it's delivered and, the intent behind, if somebody goes, no worries. I guess, you might, excuse me, think they're not being quite as sincere as you would expect. Excuse me. Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh. That caught me there. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I was going to turn the mic off, but, I'm an open book, and I coughed, and that's what you get. Remember the show? How many shows ago was I sneezed while I was talking. Remember, that was like the first live sneeze on Operation Status Quo. Did you guys catch that episode? You have to go back and find it. Explaining things people already know. We have all been part of a conversation. That's just fine. We've all been part of a conversation that's going just fine. When the other person says something such as, when Nelson Mandela was in prison, he won the Nobel Prize. You chime in with, I know who Nelson Mandela is. Why are you explaining that to me? You'll end up annoying everyone who's part of the conversation. So I don't know. I mean, maybe some people don't know what happened to Nelson Mandela. What I think is more annoying than people explaining something that you may already know or is kind of common knowledge. And I've had this experience multiple times. Is when I might say something, they go, "Oh, you didn't know that?" That's the one that gets me. Oh, you didn't know that? Like, oh, I guess I'm just a big piece of shit, right? Because I didn't know that. But no, I didn't know that. But thank you for telling me. Okay. Correcting people's pronunciation. Oh, yeah, that's a big one. You don't want to give people a hard time. I worked when I was first started teaching yoga. One of the instructors there, English was her second language, and one of the postures we would, some of the dialogue is, kicking and stretching equal and simultaneously, and she would always say simultaneously instead of simultaneously because that was just her pronunciation. And quite honestly, I loved it. I thought it was a simultaneously. She would go simultaneously, and I used to like it. And then I guess somebody must have told her and she corrected it. And then she started saying simultaneously, which, everybody says simultaneously because that's the right way to say it. So I think I encourage everyone to start saying simultaneously instead of simultaneously. All right. That's step one. That's the big lesson of today here on Operation Status Quo. Saying take it easy. Why is this patronized? They say it's patron. I say take it easy all the time. I take it easy. Have a good one. I don't know. I mean, this is ridiculous. This list is pissing me off as I read it. See, this is why I don't go through things too much and know ahead of time because I want to get the true feeling of what I'm seeing here. Saying take it easy. Why they say it's same thing with saying chill out and relax. It could work up tempers, these terms. When you ask someone to take it easy, you should suggest their response is excessive. Remember, everyone is entitled to their feelings. Of course. Well, I guess it means what you're saying. First of all, forget about take it easy. If anybody's trying to express something and you dismiss it, in a sense of making them feel like their feelings aren't valid, then it's rude either way. Whether you say take it easy, no matter what you say, take it easy is not a bad thing to say. I don't understand where they're coming from. It's like, I guess if somebody's really worked up and they're upset and you're going, oh, take it easy, take it easy. I can get that in a sense, but the idea of saying, hey, take it easy, that's not really bad. So I don't know why they want to, they shouldn't say it in the regard of take it easy is bad. They should really just talk about it as don't be dismissive of someone when they're expressing themselves, right? Patting people on the head. Oh, hello there. Let me pat you on the head. Hello. I moved my camera a little bit, so let me fix that. It may sound a little off, but this happens more than you think. The general rule should be don't invade other people's personal space. Pat on the back of the shoulder may be acceptable in a few circumstances, but patting people's heads is a no-no. Who comes up and pats people on the head? If somebody I didn't really know comes up and starts tapping me on the head, I'm probably going to punch him in the face, right? But a nice tap on the shoulder. Hey, my brother, how you doing? You tap him on the shoulder. All this stuff is so crazy, right? Everything they kind of suggest here talks about keeping people apart, right? Don't invade people's space. Don't give them a hug. Don't kiss them on the cheek. Don't say anything. It's just like craziness. Let's see here. Name dropping. When trying to be condescending and communicate superiority, you'll start talking about, oh, yeah, it's just saying if you know people, like they're using Adam Sandler here as an example. But, I guess you're name dropping if you're friends with like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or something. Oh, yeah, well, Kareem's my friend. I'm really going back in time. Why did I pick Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? I have no idea. It's just a fun name to say, isn't it? But don't name drop. People don't like it. They don't want you to. They don't want to know that you might know somebody that they don't know, and it makes you look like think you're somebody because you know somebody that's more important than they are, right? So you got to be really careful about that. Everybody's very sensitive out there today, and we can't give them a hard time about not knowing people of any relevance, right? Not muting your backgrounds, not muting your background noise during meetings. This speaks for itself. I mean, if you're, I work from home myself. I make sure my mic is off, the camera's off, everything's off. I'm basically just turn the meeting on and then I walk away, so they don't have to worry about me being disruptive. But if you do work in that situation, you may want to keep your computer, mute your sound so you don't have to hear your baby crying or your dog barking or you masturbating, whatever you're doing while you're in the meeting. They don't need to hear it. That's for sure. Wearing too much perfume. I don't know why. Again, these are all things that are supposed to be polite. I don't know who would think wearing too much perfume is polite. I mean, it's obnoxious, really. But yes, I mean, colognes and perfumes, sometimes it can be overwhelming. I had somebody that, this is so crazy, right? How people are so wussy. I used to work with this guy in the office, who, would complain, about this one woman who sat near him, this perfume she wore. He was so sensitive. He cried about everything. This guy, but anyway, he went and complained, to the bosses so that and tell the woman that her scent was making him sick, and she had to stop wearing it. Oh my God, what is wrong with people, right? And that's the thing that gets me the most about our world is how wimpy everybody is in situations like I'm a big believer in being open, honest, setting boundaries, and doing what you got to do. I understand you're in a work environment. Somebody may be sensitive, just like the whole thing with the peanuts. I worked in a school for a time too, where this poor kid, he had a peanut allergy, and he always had to sit all by himself in the corner, like away from everybody. He couldn't sit with anybody at lunch because they were all afraid he would start choking to death. His throat would close up from smelling a peanut or something. It's just, I don't know. I don't even believe in peanut allergies either. I don't know. Let me not go down that path. But anyway, so don't wear too much perfume. You're better off just stinking, which is a good thing too, because if you smell, people will keep away from you, which is also nice. Using all caps. Well, we do know this. So if you type in all caps all the time, it just sounds like you're yelling and screaming and, and pounding your fists. So, try to at least put, if you're really passionate about something, maybe just a word or two you can put in as a, in capitals, the really important ones, but don't put them all in capital letters. It's a little bit annoying. Starting your order. If you're out to eat, can I get a... you don't want to say that now. Why, I guess, first of all, why can you not say, can I get a, I'd like a, what do they want you to say? Oh, may I get, instead of can I get? That's ridiculous to that. How sensitive is that? I mean, you're out to eat, yeah, I'm here to eat. Can I get a, but you wouldn't start like that. I mean, first you would start with, hello, how are you? Would you like something to drink, sir? Yeah. Can I get a, is that, why is that bad? Why is that bad? You can't, it's like, don't say, can I get, say, may I get? Like, it's not may I get. Give me. I'm here at the restaurant. I'm paying. Yes, I can get, and I would like exactly what I want to order. If people are too sensitive in that regard, then they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be waiting tables or working in that industry. Replying all is another one that's annoying. I never reply all unless it's something that I know really, really has to. Because here's the thing. If you reply all, it brings more people into the mix, right? I'm going to give you a good work tip here, people, okay? The less you communicate with people, the less they know about you, the less engaged you become. You just kind of float and fade in the background, right? And then you're just there, and you just collect the check, and you don't have to really ever be responsible for anything. So don't reply all. Just reply to whichever particular individual it may be important to reply to based on the situation. All right, because you get these people, you start replying all, and then and it's just you get these long threads of everybody chiming in on shit. Like, especially if you have a bunch of people on the email or the thread, whatever. Right? Starting a sentence with no offense. No offense means the other person should take what you say politely, but it sometimes goes down differently than this. Starting a sentence with this phrase conjures up offensive thoughts even before you begin speaking. Well, I mean, generally, if you say no offense, you're saying something that is probably going to be off-putting to the other person. No offense, okay, but you're an asshole, okay? No offense, but you're a wimp. No offense, but you're very weak-minded, and you just do whatever anybody tells you, So you don't want to start that way. You're better off. If you have to start off with no offense, you're probably better off not even sharing the idea that you want to share, because if it would offend them, it means they don't understand it to begin with. And, here on Operation Status Quo, we want to create a place of love and joy. Everybody's different and everybody has their ways, and it's fine for everybody to be who they're going to be. But at the same time, we don't need to purposely point fingers and offend for no reason, right? So unless you really want to offend the person, then go for it. Using overly familiar nicknames, just because you hear a nickname of a person, doesn't mean that you should call them that, I guess. I mean, listen. What are they talking about? What am I talking about? Why am I talking about this? It depends on the level of your relationship, right? If you really know somebody, then you would say it. If you don't really know somebody, then you wouldn't say a certain nickname, right? So you have to be on a certain level with a person. I always ask people too. Here's a good example, like the name Dave. Okay, I've met a few Daves, there's two actually recently. I'm going to think about this. One, that guy was Dave. That guy was Dave, and then there's this Dave, and I have 4 Daves, right, over the past, say, 8 months that I've met that are new people, and 2 of them prefer to be called David, and the other 2 prefer to be called Dave, right? So I'm not going to go to the ones that like to be called David and call them Dave, right? Because that'd be rude. So I'm not trying to give them a nickname. You should just find what a person likes to be called. I always ask people, what do you prefer? Do you prefer, Michael or Mike? Do you prefer David or Dave? They tell me, oh, you can call me this, or you can call me that. I always got to tell people to call me Pete because, they want to call me Peter because that's my name, and I can't stand it. Like, it's Peter. There's nothing fun about Peter. You know what I'm saying? But Pete, Pete's having a good time. Pete's having a good time. Yeah, you're having a good time with Pete, aren't you? I know you are. You don't have to tell me. I know all about it. We're having a good time here on Operation Status Quo because that's what we do. All right, whoops. Stop that. That's enough. We hit that already. All right. Anyway, a few more. We just got a few more, so stick with me. Always talking about your diet. I guess unless if somebody wants to know about your eating habits or whatnot. I mean, you don't want to go to the other obese people and gloat about how much weight you've lost because of this special diet you're on while they're still there, stuffing their face with blueberry muffins and such, crying over their Snickers bar of why they can't lose weight. So keep your diet to yourself. If people are interested in your habits and you want to share, and I will say, diet is a very kind of personal thing, and and every diet is different. Even healthy stuff, even if you're on a super healthy kick, some people are going to do the healthy thing with certain foods, and some people are going to do the healthy thing with other foods. That they all may be healthy, but it doesn't mean different strokes for different folks, as they say. Different strokes it takes, different strokes to move the world. Yes, it does. All right, constantly gushing about new relationships. I did sing Different Strokes on an earlier episode. Matter of fact, I think the last time when I sang the Different Strokes, the video got cut off, and I had to come back and restart. And I think I restarted with singing Different Strokes again. That's like, sorry, what am I saying? Are you here? Are you enjoying this? Click like. Let me know. Constantly gushing about new relationships. Yeah, if you're in a new relationship and you're happy and do. Nobody wants to know how happy you are in your relationship while they're at home with their blow-up doll, crying, praying to God that maybe they can have human contact one day again. So keep your relationships to yourself because you're going to wind up breaking up down the line anyway. It's only good for the first 6 months, and then the shit gets real. will. And before you know it, you're bored with that person. You're looking for something else. And then you'll be the one getting all upset when the next person's telling you about how great their relationship is. All right. Taking too much time chatting at the counter. So like if you're out, let's see here, you chat with the lady or gentleman at the counter. It's polite to do this, but there's nothing wrong with a friendly rapport. But when you overdo it, you're holding up the line in back, irritating everyone. Well, I will agree with that. It's nice if you're in a line at a store and there's like 6 people behind you and you're going, oh, so tell me more about your grandkids. You know, it's probably going to piss some people off in the line because they want to get rung up and out the door. So if there's nobody behind you, maybe you want to take a little bit more time, you know, maybe get their pertinence, their social security number, how much they pay for their mortgage. You can have a nice in-depth conversation and figure it all out. Okay, the last one on the list here today, ladies and gentlemen, is ordering for others. That's right. Just because you feel like having a glass of wine doesn't mean your friends or loved ones want to have the same thing. They may smile and appreciate it, but they will find, excuse me, anyway, but they'll find it annoying, especially if they didn't want what you're ordering. And, you know, who would order for somebody else? I mean, you know, I know sometimes, listen, I understand sometimes people do that as far as like couples or something. Maybe somebody tells the husband or wife, I don't even want to, you know, because say the man ordering for the woman, because in today's world, whatever side it is, you know, maybe they know what the other person wants. So they say, I'm going to have, and my spouse here will have, you know, maybe that. But as long as the spouse chose what they wanted to have, but not like you come into a restaurant and say, all right, guys, we take your friends out. You're going out to dinner with your friends and you say, hey, Budweiser's for everybody. And this guy's like, I don't even drink, you know. So, no, you're having a Budweiser tonight. Not a Bud Light, though, because we don't have the money for all the sex change operations that'll ensue after that. But anyway, so that's what we have for you here today on Operation Status Quo. They say these are behaviors that are considered polite that are actually irritating, but they all seem pretty irritating to me. Hey-o. So anyway, let me know what you think out there. You know the deal. Drop the comments in the comments. And if you haven't done so already, like, subscribe, share. Send this out to your friends, your family, those you love, and, of course, those you despise as well. I love each and every one of you individually as well as a group, ladies and gentlemen. And until tomorrow, I got to go back over here. Until tomorrow, Operation Status Quo, disengaged.